years later. Daniel good and dead. And everybody who getting this. So I'm just showing you how, and that's why I say even the theologian's not going to argue with you about this. Because it's already happened. Keep reading. But the reason I'm saying that is because we ain't going to use, I use the reason we do chapter 8 is because in chapter 7, it don't give you no names of nobody. You know what I'm saying? But if you put everything together, now you comprehend without us having to go to any history book. You know what I'm saying? You got the Greeks, then you got the Medo-Persian Empire. Well, then come on, who ruled next? Rome did. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't even that. Make it so bad. It's hard to even when you go through history, pick out when Greek was ruling and when Rome was ruling. You know what I'm saying? Like meaning like the transition was so smooth and so, because remember the Greeks got split into 4 ASAP. So it's just that easy. They about to have a party next door. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. All right, so let's so that's the real reason why we grabbed Daniel 8 is so that we can put some names and identify these nations. So now let's go on over to Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13. I hope they some good over there. Cause we're gonna have to say something to them if they sound sorry, man. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna entertain right, man. Don't be over there jamming and y'all sound like trash. So Revelation chapter 13. And yeah, man, you got the Space Cadet band or something. This is my high school band. Like, nah, not today. So Revelation chapter 13, right? This is where we gonna pick, this is where we gonna start. And the reason we was in Daniel 9, so we getting almost there. The reason we was in Daniel 7 and 8 was so that we could build up to to Revelation chapter 13. All right. Now we're going to do 13. Then once we done with 13, we're going to go over to 17 and 18. Then we go back to Daniel 11 and call it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have a whole lot, but we going to get this. Okay. So, Revelation chapter 13, picking up verse 1. When you get there, take off, bro.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea,
and
saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
Now, what this beast look like, bro?
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Now, it has 7 heads and 10 horns. What else about it? By the way, in Daniel chapter 7, how many heads was it? 7. Yep, because how many heads did the leper have? 4. Right, so that made it have 7. You had the great terrible beast, that's 1, plus the 4 by the leopard, and then you got the lion, and you got the bear. All right, so I'm just showing you something. So it had 4 heads. What else?
And upon his horns 10 crowns.
Yep.
And upon his head the name of blasphemy.
Now watch verse 2. Go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
He was like to a leopard. We saw that in Daniel 7. Go ahead.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
And his feet was a bear. We saw that in Daniel 7. What else?
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
And his mouth was the mouth of a lion. All this we got because this is that dynasty. This is it all put together. Go ahead.
And the dragon gave him his power.
And now we see who ruled the world. Because remember, this last beast was there until the very end. Until the Ancient of Days came, correct? So if he came till the Ancient of Days came, we're just trying to make sure we drown them out. Oh, don't worry, I get loud now. Mm-hmm. Look here, man, all you got to do is just slide that back a little bit, put that speaker there, stop. So, yeah, but get us kicked out this hotel. My bad, brother Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Look, it ain't my fault, man. So, but at the end of it all, he said, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. Oh, remember, this ruled until the end. The great and terrible beast ruled until the end. And that's what we're doing. Now we're at the end of the book. And we're going to see this great. That's why when we get to Revelation chapter 17, verse 5, mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abomination of the earth. Because it been ruling this place like Rome was destroyed. I tell this story all the time. When I learned this, I was in college. It was my freshman year in college, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't. I forgot. It was my fake freshman year. Because, look, long story about that. College was fun, all right? It was the second time I decided to go back to the same school. So at any rate, though, and so I'm in history. And I'm learning this, and I'm asking my history teacher as I'm learning this, I say, So is Rome going to ever come back to power? Immediately. He was like, because we was dealing with like the serfs and we were dealing with feudalism at the time, like the 1500s, you know, coming out the dark ages into the Renaissance. That's what we was dealing with. And when you got your knights, your medieval type stuff, how all that was set up. So my question is, that's all Rome. That's the point. That's the point. So I say, is Rome going to ever come back to power? And I already heard Brother Bowie do the lesson. Like, no, I believe Brother Bowie. My history teacher don't know nothing. I don't care how much we paying him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't know what he's talking about. He's like, no, they're done. And I understand, because the Roman Empire is done. Till you look into history and you start looking up people like Charlemagne, Charles V, Justinian, Otto the Great. When you look up their names, guess what it say? It say that they was the king or the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Now, what the heck? Because Rome ain't, it's just like this. It's like saying, all right, so we're going to destroy, you know, Washington, D.C., right? You know what I'm saying? In America. But then next thing you know, the politics of Washington, D.C. runs the world now. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we here in North Carolina, so we decide, like, you know, 200, 300 years later, because you know that what you own come from Washington, D.C., you like, you know, I'm a president now of Americas. You know, you don't necessarily say of the United States. I'm a president of Americas or something like. You the same thing still. It's just a different day, different era. Number two, what we learned in college is that there has always been a battle between the state and the church. Your Spanish Inquisitions, the church went bananas. So it's always been that scrimmage. But other than this church ain't never died. This Rome never died. He said, I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. Go ahead.
And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So, you know, when you start talking about, so who exactly is the beast? Look, it's a vision. The beast is a representation of their whole dynasty. The beast don't exist. You understand what I'm saying? It's a vision. So, but when we say it's a representation of the whole dynasty, it's like, yo, so who is like, so who, he says, so they worship the dragon, which gave power into the beast. So the dragon is running the beast, and the way you worship the dragon is by coming up under this system, celebrating things like Christmas, Easter, Halloween, or All Saints Day, St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's Day. Now, I know about the book of John, and we call that St. John, but please tell me why we calling it St. Valentine's Day. Go ahead, read some more. Verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
Right.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
See, and notice what it's doing. When you start talking about this beast is Rome. But remember, even when we was in Daniel, it took it all the way to an individual. Maybe it had a whole nother little horn. So what it's doing is it's giving you its whole totality in this beast. Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name.
So out of this beast is the Antichrist. So now we're talking about the Antichrist in this verse, but he's still a representative or a representative of this beast. Go ahead.
And his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
Right.
And to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Right.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
I like that part too, that the Lamb was slain from the foundation of the world. Jesus was killed in the beginning because the plan was always in play on how we are supposed to get our salvation. That's that light that you see when God said, let there be light. And there was light. Trust me, look, man, God don't need, man. I heard this Jake, man, talking about God needed some light so he could see how to create the world. You idiot. Don't you know that the Lord is clothed in light? What are you talking about, man? Like the Lord say, darkness and light is all the same to me. What are you talking about? Yet he says in the Bible that we are not children of the night, but children of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like anyway, man, I don't even want to keep picking at that boy. Go ahead, read some more.
Verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
He kept looking. Now he said, I see another beast. So that story is done. You know what I mean? It could have been his own chapter, really. You know what I'm saying? And so in that story, it did put the Antichrist in there. But now we're going to get a little more specific in this story. So he said, I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake like a dragon. Go ahead.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast.
Right, he's saying, look, he got the power of the first beast. He's the one that gets to execute and exercise that power that beast has. Remember that part. Because when we get to Revelation 17, the question came up in Bible study, which was, so why is it animosity between this one beast and these kings? Because he got all their power. Remember, I told you at the beginning, I said there's always been complication between the church and the state. You know what I mean? So it's like he the church and he taking the state power. That's a just imagine if what's the dude? See these presidents we got now suck, man. Fuck all that. You bring me back to the day. I like George Bush when he was president. At least I knew we had a real president in there. Whether I liked his policies or not, even Bill Clinton, the other George Bush, they was what kind of presidents we got now? I don't know. But I'm saying, just imagine if the churches tried to come up to the White House and was like, we run it now. Like the White House would be like, you joking, right? Because we about to have all y'all dead on the front line if you stay here any longer. That's how it is now. But imagine if the churches came and they selected Jesse Jackson as their leader. It was like, yo, we going to put him in here. He's our, you know what I mean? This has always been the animosity. He got all the power of the United States. All you governors, you 50 governors, you know what I'm saying, got to now do what this man said. It would be a problem. That's what we're getting at. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get there a little bit when we get to that part of Revelation. So he said he exercised all the power of the first beast before him and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the beast whose deadly wound was healed. Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
What else?
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
So this dude got skills where he deceiving people by the miracles that he doing. Go ahead.
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live.
So they was like, they need to make an image for this beast, a representative. Go ahead. What's your question?
Is that actually just like an image to Rome or something?
Yeah. In honor of Rome and representation of Rome. So whatever. But when they say Rome, I don't know what they're going to call it. But whatever it is, this image, he going to be able to move. So it might be Julius Caesar. It might be Pompous. It might be Constantine. Could be Justinian. Because he the first Holy Roman Emperor. You dig what I'm saying? Like since the fall of Rome. So we say, you know what I'm saying, that Rome fell. Is it Justinian? Yeah, Justinian is. Because he ruled actually Constantinople. You know what I'm saying? Which is where the Byzantine Empire was. That's over there by Turkey. That's the land we're talking about for those that do know geography. You know what I mean? The Ottoman Empire. You know what I mean? That's their lands. So yeah, but so they gonna make right. Again, read that verse. What verse was that?
14.
Read that verse 13 first. Read 13. Read 13.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles,
right?
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which has.
So he's saying he's gonna make an image to the beast. So you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter but it got something. It's like an image to this beast. You know what I'm saying? It's an image to Rome. Go ahead.
Which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Yep.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So you see also what's going on. That this image is going to be able to speak. You know what I mean? Now, just like biblically, we know that they had an image before that they had to bow down to. But an image don't necessarily have to be physical either. They got an image of Tupac. He did a whole concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, as time progresses, ain't no telling what this may literally be. But whatever it is, you're going to have to deal. It's not going to be a secret. That's the thing. People be like we get to talking about the mark of the beast is in this chapter. We get to talking about, the mark of the beast is out now. And all. Look, man, this ain't finna be no secret. Right. Like, ain't nobody, I don't understand why people think everything is such a big secret. Like, the Lord gonna rapture us off. Like, why? Like, why? Like, look, man, if I got the power to take you somewhere, don't you think I want everybody to know? Like, look, I'm here. I'm gonna make a grand announcement on the world's megaphone. Like, look, world, I want you to know I'm Jesus. I'm black, by the way. And I'm here to grab all my children and bring them up to heaven, which happens to be 80,000 billion light years away. Catch me if you can. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, why is this going to be a secret? It's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying. That's man trying to trick you, man. They're trying to bamboozle you, man. Make you think believe in something that don't never exist. Have you walking the path where you walking into where? It's like you know what the world had you doing. Y'all remember the Looney Tunes? And they had Bugs Bunny and the Coyote and all that, and they get to running, and they be running so fast, one chasing the other. It's on your shirt. Oh, hey, but no, you know what happens? They be off the cliff, and they be running in the air. That's how they be doing you with this false doctrine, man. Right. They be having you run. All of a sudden, you look back, you like, and you look down. Yeah, there you go. Snap. Because once you look down, bang, you just hitting the ground. That's what be happening with this false doctrine. They be having you just like that. But anyway, go ahead, read some more.
16.
Yes, thank you, sir.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Yeah.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to have this to buy and sell, man. Like, this ain't no secret. You ain't going to get tricked into taking this either. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be acting like, like they ain't gonna, but look, they doing this stuff now, though. Like, I want y'all to understand that I would say during this pandemic, and this one, I guess it's over with, we're probably going to pick up another one. This going to be constant. That's what's like for us that didn't never experience this in life. Because, me, I'm in my 40s. I'm like, what? We just did what? We ain't had to go to school? I ain't never heard of that in my life. But we couldn't have pulled this off when I was a kid. We ain't had no internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a 0% chance that, like, dude, we was going to do something. They were going to take you to the park. We would have been outside having school. It wasn't going to be 2 years? Oh, come on, man. But I'm saying now it look like, man, we just finna keep riding this way. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's finna be one after another. But what I'm getting at is, but you see, like, a whole new group of people picked up food stamps. I mean, and lots of it. I never thought possible that they would be giving. One time I checked my food stamps, I was like, dang, I wish this was real money. Right. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, hey, I was so tempted to stand in front of the grocery store and be selling the food stamps, but guess what, though? Everybody else is walking in with it, too. Right. Like, so it gave it no value. Think of that. No value. Because they controlled the value. So what I'm saying is it's going to be easy for them to give us a mark because they control the value. Actually, right now, our dollar's worth a little more. You know why I know? Because silver is like $18. So if you buy silver and gold, buy it now. It has a little more value right now. Oh, yeah. You're right. It's simply a promissory note. But I'm saying the value of that promissory note right now actually has increased a bit. So if you do stuff like buy precious metals, the metals are down, purchase them. You see what I'm saying? Because eventually, an ounce of silver gonna get you $100. Because that 100 ain't going that 100 gonna be worth what the 20 was. Because that's how much you could buy it for right now, about $20 for an ounce of silver. So I'm saying if you into that, I'm into that. So if you into that type of thing, then now is the time because the market is good. I'm hoping to get down to $15. You know what I'm saying? Because the market is good for it. And it's just a facade. You know what I'm saying? They want you to think your money is stronger right now. Man, that money ain't worth crap. What they say, that money ain't. Do you know it costs money to print this stuff? It costs more to print the dollar than the doggone dollar worth. How is that worth money? Just think of that. It costs more to print the dollar. You can go Google that. You know what I'm saying? Than the actual, I think it costs what, $1.18, something stupid like that, to print $1. How? At the printing press, where they print them at. Like we need it. Right. And I'm saying it costs money to make it, right? Don't it cost money to run this operation? Don't people got to get paid to do this? Do you Googling it? Oh, I want somebody to tell me how much it is. Tell me how much it is to make $1. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like $1.18 or something crazy like that, which was more than $1. But I could be off. But they're gonna give you a price, or maybe it costs more to make coin than dollar. Something that just lets you know your money ain't worth nothing. Just bottom line, it ain't worth nothing. So anyway, so in order for us to all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead. Verse 17.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It said $1 bill costs 5.4 cents. And what it is it costs while printing $100 bills costs $15.04. Probably the most expensive bill to print is a 50, which costs 19 cents. What it is, it costs more to make coin than it costs to make dollars. That's what it is. It costs more to make coin. But at any rate, long story short though, your money ain't worth crap. That's the point we're getting at. It ain't worth nothing. Like nobody ever even thought about like how much does it actually cost to make $1? You know, that does have a cost. You know, but at any rate, the mark of the beast, it's gonna be some kind of real mark. There or some kind of real, like something that you have to be willingly accept, given from this beast. It's the mark of the beast. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so meaning I can't give it to you. I can't be like, here, take my mark. Right. Without this, you can't. Like, it's the beast's mark. Okay. Now let's move on a little further. Let's go to Revelation chapter 17. Now we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of it all. Revelation chapter 17. Revelation chapter 17. Let's see how much to print. Coin. I don't know why I said print. I just want to know. I think it's how much to make. I want to know coin. Yeah. Well, 12 cents. So it's telling me all the. I want to see the coins.
Different size coins, like dollar pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, it just depends on, because all of it it's all material. You know what I'm saying? Nickel is what's in most of it though, and copper, tin, yeah. But it's the price though, like to make a dollar bill costs 5.7 cents to print. The last cost, a dollar coin costs 10 cents to mint, like a dollar coin. So I'm saying when you start talking about value, what's the true value of that paper? The true value of that paper is how much it costs for them to make it. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the coin. So which is worth more, the coin or the paper? Right. So this is something to think about. But what I'm saying is they control all of that anyway. So anyway, Revelation chapter 17. So now we're going to start putting it together because the question is the beast versus the false prophet. You know what I'm saying? That's the beast versus the false prophet. Or who is it? And we're going to see here. So let's pick it up in Revelation 17 and verse 1. And when you get there, go ahead and read.
And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Go ahead.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Dang. Y'all see again, here go that same. That's why we had to go back to that Daniel 7. You know what I mean? So we can make sure that we find in this person and remember, in Daniel 7, we talked about it, like this, that beast, the great and terrible beast ruled until the Ancient of Days came. That's who's going to take out this church here. So it said, because this is a woman, it says, and there came one of the 7 angels which talked to me that had 7 vials. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come here, then I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Go ahead, verse 3.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness.
Right.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. And
so notice what this said. Notice what it says. The name. So I saw a woman arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones, pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, because the world gonna act like they don't know who it is, but Babylon the Great. Now we in the book of Revelation. Why are we talking about Babylon the Great? Right. Nebuchadnezzar's done. No, because Babylon been the great the whole time. This has always been Babylon. Right. Always been Babylon. I remember, it's why I believed it. My grandma had a book called God's Trombone. Anybody ever heard of that? James Weldon Johnson. Y'all ever heard of him? Oh, I'm old. So he's a black poet, writer, James Weldon Johnson. And he wrote a book called God's Trombone. And in the book is, I think, like maybe 12 sermons, maybe 7 sermons, something like that. And my great grandmother used to be a storyteller. So she would tell the stories. And so one of the stories, the creation is in there. I mean, I wish I could hear my great grandma tell these stories. Cause like the way they written is like, it's like reading the Bible, but like it's old Negro stuff. Like these are sermons from the late 1800s that we as black people was given about what we knew. So imagine halfway literate men trying to describe the Bible. One of my favorites though was the prodigal son. The prodigal son was in there based off the prodigal son. And that's when I learned about Babylon, because that's in that book. It was like, yeah, way down in Babylon is where he went. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's not where he went according to the thing, but that's how it went when the preachers. I got the book. Maybe one time I'm gonna come out. I'll come down here and read some of it to y'all because it's really good. They got the creation in that joint. They be talking about Moses. It's almost like the Bible for dummies or something, or like the Bible for like little kids. Like if you want to talk to little kids and like get them entertained, like it would definitely keep the kids entertained, telling them the story. You know what I mean? That's in this book called God's Trombone by James Weldon Johnson. Anyway, so I've always knew Babylon, like this is Babylon, the system. You know what I'm saying? Always from like my great grandmother telling us these stories or whatever. But notice he say Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. Because she the mother of all these, the Lutheran, Anabaptist, Baptist, Episcopalian, Lutheran, all that. She the mother of that. It come from her. A Seventh-day Adventist once said in a documentary about the Lutheran Church and Martin Luther. They said Martin Luther left the Catholic Church with a pamphlet of the Pope in his back pocket. That's what because basically what he's saying is you took everything from the Catholic Church, but you scrapped the Pope. That's all you did. You took the whole, because the Lutheran is the first movement away, the first Christian movement away from the Catholic Church. Okay, so at any rate, the mother of harlots. But then at the end of the day, what are you? You're the abomination of the earth. That's a dirty title to have. Like, you the abomination of the earth. Like, you like, that sounds like the bottom of somebody's shoe or something. Man. Like, but you that of the earth. We're talking about this woman that's sitting on this, arrayed in purple, got them church clothes on, and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, because she got your money. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with a great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right. So he said, and the beast that carried her, that had the, remember, they go that. So the beast that carried the woman is the same beast from back in Daniel chapter 7. The whole thing put together. It's Babylon the Great. The woman, though, is the church. So we already in this chapter, we are picking up both church and the state. Go ahead, read some more.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
All right, stop. The beast that you saw was, because it did exist, but it is not.
Right.
Meaning right now, it don't exist, right? Rome don't exist. There's no Rome. When you go to the Olympic Games, Italy exists. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Vatican City even with a track team. You know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of nuns out there with their whole outfit on or something, try to win gold medals. That'd be funny, right? You know what I'm saying? With the all black. Like, but you don't see that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have no representation. So as it said, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, go ahead.
And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition.
But at the end of the day, it's coming out to devour at the end. The beast is. Go ahead.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. When they behold the beast that was and is not,
right,
and yet is.
Okay.
Right.
Give me some more.
And there is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
Now we flip the script. The 7 heads, because now we trying to identify where this beast come from. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. Another word for mountains are hills. Who got their phone available where they could Google something? Google 7 hills of Rome. Watch this. You got it? Oh, you got it already written in there. Right, because that's what it is. Rome got 7 hills. This is who we talking about. Wow. But the reason I say Google it is because I just want you to know how easy this stuff is to find. You know, it's like I got hundreds, $1,000s worth of books in my house. And like all I needed was my phone and to pay my bill. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really needed. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to keep my books as long as we won't have a house fire, but I'm just saying it's all readily available. I'm talking about, man, I got all this. I remember going to these different types of libraries and different types of bookstores, searching hard for some of these books, man. Like, do you know I own the pictorial history of the Jewish people? Did y'all know that one exists? Man, I paid some good money. You know, the one we usually use is the pictorial history of the Italian people. I got the one about the Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, I went out there, man, all that information, man, it's right there on Google. I don't need to go buy a damn book no more. But still, though, I'm just saying, that's why I say Google it. You know what I mean? Right. So that you can understand, we ain't got to, this ain't mysteries, and we ain't got to, we ain't got to be super educated to figure this out. So he said, what verse are we at, bro?
9 now.
All right, and here's the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains of which the woman sit. Watch this now. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yep.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen.
All right, so it's 7 kings. Right. 6 fallen, really. But there's 7 kings. I'm going to name the 6. Justinian. Hey, me and my kids was doing them in order this week. I forgot, or last week or so. But it's Justinian, Charlemagne. It's Otto before, Otto, because Charles V, he was like more of the modern day dude. And then after Charles V, it is Napoleon, then Benito Mussolini, who handed over Vatican City to Rome, and then we got one more left. Those are all military leaders. But they all, when you look them up, and you can look them up on Wikipedia, which is everybody be talking about how much trash Wikipedia is. Wikipedia ain't no more trash than World Book. It's just an online encyclopedia. That's what Wikipedia means. It's just an online encyclopedia. Whereas so if you want to say Wikipedia trash, then so is well, people can change it. Man, please go and compare something in Wikipedia, the World Book, and tell me that they didn't change that. Oh, well, Beyonce's birthday ain't right. Man, Beyonce probably don't know when she was born. She still thinks she's 29. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that the history books got, that World Book got her? Is she even in World Book? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people get so petty. But at any rate, though, what verse?
Beginning of 10.
All right, go ahead.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Right, so he's saying, because we said we got 1 more, and when he come, he going to have a little bit of time. 1 more king. I'm talking about, because remember, it said the 7 head, well, we're going to get there, verse 11.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
So notice, I'm going to get to you. So notice he's saying the beast that was and is not. So where do we get that from? Verse 10, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, 1 is, and the other is not. So then when we get to verse 11, now we calling that the beast. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. So technically, the 8th is the Antichrist, but it don't matter. You can call either way at the end. Number 7 and number 8 gonna be there together. Right. Period, point blank. What's your question, sis? The 6th would have been Benito Mussolini, World War. Napoleon is before him. Then we got Charles V. We're going in reverse order now. Charles V. Okay, I got Charlemagne. Oh, yeah. Charlemagne should have been number 2, I think. So it should have started off as Justinian, Charlemagne, Otto the Great, or maybe, it don't matter though. I can give you all the names. I think Otto the Great might be before Charlemagne. But either way, it's Justinian, Otto the Great, Charles V, Charlemagne, Benito Mussolini, Napoleon Bonaparte, and then the last guy ain't here yet. You had a question?
For those, the people that are named like Justinian, are those like emperors, like full blown?
You got your phone? Your phone working? Google Justinian. Tell me what you see. Go to Wikipedia. Tell me what you see. What you got, sis? You got your phone with you? That's what you're doing, or you on something totally different? You could be on something different. Okay, you ain't got to say nothing out loud. Just go Google Charlemagne. And good luck spelling it, because I can't spell it either. But what you going to find out when you go to like Wikipedia, and you ain't got to say nothing out loud, sis. When you go to Wikipedia, you going to see that they telling you they Holy Roman emperors. They ruled over the Holy Roman Empire. And that's just touching the surface. Like, we can go, because like, it don't say that about Mussolini. What about him? Because Mussolini is the one it does say that about Mussolini. Well, I know when you go read history, it do. But when I know one thing is, Vatican don't exist if it ain't for Mussolini. But what about Napoleon? Look at man. Napoleon thought he was God, bro. Hey, but you know what, man? Out of all the rulers in history, man, Napoleon is my favorite. What? Because Napoleon probably was about this tall. And somebody told me, y'all know Sammy the Bull? Y'all ever heard Sammy the Bull? The mafia dude? Y'all know he about this tall? You know what somebody told me? They said, man, the hardest people on the planet be like the little guy. Like they be like you walk in the room, you know what I'm saying, and you see like everybody, that little dude over there, that might be the one that kill you. So I'm just saying, so that's why I always like Napoleon, because he ain't but like a 5'5", a buckle. Every picture they show, man, is like his clothes look too big. Like, dang, dude, you couldn't even get a good tailor. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I wouldn't advise you to step his way and say the wrong thing, because he was a goon. He was a straight. Even Hitler was like, that's what I'm saying. All these dudes. It said Holy Roman Empire or something like that. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's how you know it, though. And then even when you take the history class and you look at the books, they showing you the Holy Roman Empire over and over again through different people. Okay? So, verse 11 again. They about to have a party over there.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
Nah, we even gonna clarify that when we go to Daniel 11 today. Because somebody asked me, how did this guy come up when the 10 nations, the 10 kings don't like him? How did he end up taking over? So we're gonna look at that after we done with this. But go ahead.
These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
See, like, how is it that they gave their power and strength to the beast? Go ahead.
These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings.
Right.
And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest.
What waters? When it said earlier, it said in verse 1, and I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sit on many waters. So the waters that we seeing is what, bro?
Where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes.
So the water is the people. So the whore sits on the people. Wow. She has no power without the people. Right. She's the church. There is no church without the people. Right. If I would have got here and y'all all would have been gone, look, man, it would have been no church. I would have missed church because I missed the people.
All right.
Go ahead.
And the multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate.
See, notice what it's saying. It say the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, they hate the whore. Right. And shall make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Like because the kings don't like the church.
Right.
That's the thing. The kings don't think the politicians like the church because they came to your church to campaign. That's the reason why they there, because they don't like the church. They know the church got too much power. If I want your neighborhood, dang, I got to go in here. I got to kiss this preacher's butt. You know what I'm saying? Knowing good and well he's sleeping with little boys. Right. You know, I'm dead serious. Like, hey, I bear witness to that. Where the politician came to the church and you knew that the preacher there was a crook. But his church is a mega church. Go ahead. Where we at?
17. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Keep going.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
That's wrong. That's why we talked about her sitting on 7 hills, and she reigns over the kings of the earth. He's the only person I have ever known they make a throne for. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about in the last 100 years, you can't name me one other person that they make a throne. They don't even give Queen Elizabeth a throne. She's sitting in a chair. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the Pope, he come to town, bruh, they got a throne for him, and people carrying that joint if they don't put it in that bulletproof car. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying, like, cause he king of the earth. If he go anywhere, South America, North America, Africa, Europe, now the only place he can go where they probably don't give 2 craps about him is Asia. Then he pop up in China. It'll be like, bro, who is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you supposed to be, Buddha bless you. That's what they're going to be telling. Like, Buddha need to bless you. That's what they're going to be telling him. Because they don't have no respect in the Eastern Hemisphere like that. You know, Russia. Now, Russia a little different, man. Russia don't care about nothing. Period. They just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about savages. That's been Russia. Like, Russia, Napoleon tried to run up in Russia. Russia say, we just burned it down and leave you there. Then wait a minute, hold on, but they wasn't done. Then Hitler tried to do the same thing. Stalin say, we just burn it down and leave you there. I don't care. Burn it all. That's Russia for you. Yeah, Russia the goons. So they definitely don't care if the Pope come through.
That makes sense. Like how that's the Lord's army.
There you go. Right. It does. And the same thing with China. You start talking about World War II. I'm like, yo, the kamikaze fighters, who was that? That's the Chinese and the Japanese type joint. They're the ones that don't mind just killing themselves. Like me, I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with sending my son off to ram a plane into your plane. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're not going to do that. My son ain't going to your military to strap on no. But here's the difference between us and them. They fight for family. They fight for country. This been their country. This ain't my place. Like, you heard what Muhammad Ali say, man. He say, my enemy is right here. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going to go over there and fight him when my enemy is right here in my... Like, I don't see the Viet Cong locking us up, throwing away the keys and, beating us out of our cars. I see America doing that. Right. So at any rate, let's go to Daniel chapter 11. Yeah. I think we're going to end it there. Yeah, we're going to end it there. I was debating if we was going to end it in Revelation 18 or if we're going to do Daniel 11. But I think we're going to do Daniel 11 first because I want us to see how is it that this Antichrist dude take power if don't nobody like him, because that was a part of our questioning from Bible study. And we can start this off at Daniel 11 and verse 21. That's what we'll start it off at. Daniel 11 and 21. Y'all all right? All this making sense without us picking up history books? Because usually when you do a lesson like this, man, the brother come in with a whole bunch of extra stuff. I try to make it where I don't need all that I can hopefully help us and figure it out without the use of extras. So Daniel 11 in verse 21.
And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peace and peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully.
So this guy here is really your Antichrist. And he said, in his estate shall stand up a vile person. That's the Antichrist. To whom they should not give honor, to the kingdom. You don't ever see, the Pope is because he's the Antichrist. He is the peacemaker, the ultimate come between two countries and make sure that everything cool type thing. He the only one that can stand there with the head of the Muslims, the Russians, and the Eastern Orthodox Church and Britain. He can stand there with all of them. That's how he get down. And he can stand there with the Buddhist priest. I can't stand with all them people. I'm going to have a problem with everybody. You wrong, you gay, you wrong. And in his estate should stand up a vile person to whom they should not give honor to the kingdom, but he should come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flattery. That's why he was swindling y'all out of the kingdom. Right. Go ahead.
Pick up 20.
22.
22? Mm-hmm. And with arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people.
You see what he's saying? He was like, man, he gonna work deceitfully. So yeah, that's gonna have these kingdoms like, yo, man, I don't want to mess with you, man. You tricked me. You lied. Because you came in, took over, and now I got to take your mark to buy and sell. See, when you go to you go to Revelation chapter 6, and you see what type of power this dude got and what he really owned, yeah, they don't like none of that. Go ahead.
He shall enter peaceably even upon the fattest places of the province. And he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He shall scatter among them the prey, and spoil, and riches. Yea, and he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds even for a time.
Yep. And now I want y'all to understand something. So Daniel chapter 11 runs from the days of Greece all the way to today. But what you got to understand is some of the stuff, yeah, man, we got to wrap this up because they got that Tupac going on over there. Nah, ain't that the boy from the Temptations? Yeah, but that's the boy from the Temptations, though, ain't it? Yeah, I try to. In it, Dennis Edwards. That's who that is. Yeah. All right, well, they about to start jamming over there, so we gonna wrap this up because they sound like they having a good time, and we still having the Sabbath. So at any rate, though, but Daniel chapter 11 really starts off during the time of the Greeks, because if you look at it, verse 1. Also in the first year of Darius of the Medes, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th king shall be far richer than they are. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up against the realm of the Grecian. And the mighty king shall stand. So it start off with the Greeks, basically. Right. But at some point, remember we was in Daniel chapter 8, and we saw how the Greeks, what came out the Greeks was like one little horn. You know what I'm saying? But really it came like from the 4 came one little horn that, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's same thing here. All right, so go ahead. What verse?
25.
25, thank you.
And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great army. And the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. Yea, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table. But it shall not prosper, for yet the end shall be at the time appointed.
Go ahead.
Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits and return to his own land.
So my man basically, like, he just coming in, he tricked, he swindled them. So that's why it's animosity between the kings and between this guy in the end, because of how he ended up coming into power. All right, so let's go over now to read down to like 31. Read till you get down to 31.
At the time appointed he shall return and come toward the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter. For the ships of Kittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant.
Yep.
So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant.
Like, think about terminology like intelligence. Like, that's like spying. Like, you're going to have intel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's modern day. But go ahead.
And arms shall stand on his part.
Right, he's going to have a military. Go ahead.
And they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength.
Right.
And shall take away the daily sacrifice.
This is where your abomination of desolation come in at. This is it right here. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18, and then after that, we'll open back up for questions. If y'all don't have any questions, I got one more thing we can look at, which is, do you got to fast? When you fast, can you do your pleasures? When you fast, can you go to work? Stuff like that. That was something that somebody else asked that I'm getting on my phone, actually. So I'll try to deal with that too. But Revelation chapter 18, and pick it up at verse 1.
And after these angels come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich.
So no, this now what we did is we just took this to the end, and it's like Babylon the Great is falling. Like, that's what's happened now, like in the end. But it's also saying that Babylon was the cage of every foul spirit and every unclean and hateful bird. Go ahead. Like spirits. When we say bird, like Babylon, this place had everything in it. Every vile act, whatever. And look, let me tell y'all something about like this boy R. Kelly, right? And how he went to jail for whatever. Like, but how was Elvis Presley's wife when he married her?
Word.
Yeah. I'm saying ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And he ain't the worst criminal. You know what it is? Your money ran out and somebody got pissed. Like, that's what that is. So it's your turn. I remember when this first came up like 15 years ago. Ice Cube, this is what Ice Cube said. Ice Cube said, everybody do it. He just got caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then my man John Sally, I'm just telling y'all, when I say these names, I'm like, you can you can Google this stuff and see what they say about it. John Sally say, so where were these people? Guardians? Ever. Anybody, like my daughter's 17, I got a 17 and a 15-year-old. Like, they ain't nowhere. I know where they are right now. I know where they always at. And guess what? They ain't finna be in there, Little Baby, Big Baby. I don't care what the name of the rap is. You ain't finna be nowhere, unless I'm there. Right. And then even then, you talking to my daughter? Put your head back down, girl. Don't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't operate like that. Right. That's the moral. So therefore, who fault is it? Now, I'm not saying that if a girl walked down the alley that she deserved to get raped. I'm just saying, why is you walking down that alley though? We done told you about that. So anyway, this place got every evil. This ain't the worst of it. The stuff you done seen. What happened?
I was gonna say sidebar. They found like the court documents, and they were saying that the coaches and the parents, some of them were with like coercing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Take my daughter. Right.
What?
Give me that bag.
Telling them how they should please R. Kelly.
I believe that though. Like I know. Like when I say I believe that, cause this place wicked, man. And if you look at Britney Spears' mama, you think that woman didn't want her daughter to get this bag? Britney, have y'all ever seen Britney Spears' mama? She definitely ain't Britney Spears. Like, she about 100 pounds heavier, maybe 150. Oh. Not nearly as cute and can't sing. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes people be living through exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is what you want. You know what I'm saying? Now you done got this girl crazy. This girl crazy in the morgue now. You know what I'm saying? Whose fault is that? That ain't Britney Spears' fault. That's her mama's fault. So look at Gary Coleman. Y'all remember him? Mm-hmm. Man, his parents was robbing him. That's the little boy on the good on Different Strokes for those that too old. Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? Yeah, man, his parents was robbing him. You understand what I'm saying? Like he was the first one I heard about parents robbing you, and then what make it so bad? That whole TV cast was jacked up, man. I'm talking about the girl that killed herself. My man, Willis. Y'all know he a preacher now. That whole TV cast up, but that's after he did his bid on drugs. So I'm just like the whole cast just jacked up. But the point we getting at is, look, the stuff that you hear about, don't be the worst of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be having parties you don't want to know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be having rituals you don't want to know about. You know, like, so this place has become the image of every foul bird and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of this woman's fornication. Go ahead, pick it up from there.
And
go ahead.
Okay.
They jamming for you, bro?
No. Okay, I was at the bottom of.
Nah, you was over there. What's that song? I know that song too, man. You know what I mean? I know that song too, bro. That's what I'm saying. He over there, man. He about to start getting. Go ahead. Dog.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins,
right?
And that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. How much she have glorified herself, and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow."
This is Babylon. It's like Babylon, like I'm the queen of this place. Like she run it, man. And she do. Go ahead.
"And shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her."
Go ahead.
"And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Go ahead.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come."
All right, that's good. So at the end of the day, when we get back to Revelation chapter 19, and you start asking, because the origin or point of the question is, so where, when Satan gets thrown into the lake of fire, there's the beast and the false prophet. So let's go to Revelation 19 and start reading at verse 16. Revelation 19 and 16. When you get there, go ahead.
"And he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords."
We talking Jesus here. Go ahead.
"And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying, To all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
So the first two people to go into the lake of fire is the beast and the false prophet. So right now, ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever this lake of fire is, ain't nobody burning in hell right now. We got to wait on the beast and the false prophet. Then let's jump down to Revelation chapter 20 and start reading at verse 10. Just read verse 10. Now we're going to put Satan in there. He person number 3.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Right. So that was the first two, and then Satan went there. So that was the origin of the question: who is the beast and who is the false prophet? He gonna be the last of the Roman empires. He gonna be that 7th or 8th, depending on how you want to look at it. I would say 7, since the other 6 was military leaders too, and that the 8th is the Antichrist. But it don't really matter. So with that being said, I hope y'all understand that a little more clearly. Do we got questions, and just any questions biblically or comments? Huh? Who is Chittim? I think Chittim is a place.
Yeah, is that part of Babylon?
It's a good question. Let me look that up real quick. Chittim, Chittim.
I was looking it up,
In the Bible. Chittim, and genealogy of Genesis 10 is the son of, so it's some Gentile land. That's what it is, some Gentile land. Where we saw that at? Where about? It's some Gentiles land up. Where do y'all know where we saw it? I can find it. Chittim. Chittim. Oh no, it was in Daniel's 11. The ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore, he should be grieved in return and have indignation against the holy covenant. Oh yeah, so I guess that's just I guess that's they scrimmage that they got going on as he trying to take, because really Daniel 31 is when he 11 and 31 is where the abomination of desolation. So really, them ships coming.
What's the Book of Wars?
The Book of Wars?
Yeah, in Numbers 21.
Another book they had where it talked about the wars that they had.
Okay.
They had the books you see in the Bible, like when it mentioned other books, like let me see, what's some of the other books that's written in the Bible? I know, Jasher. Let me see, books in the Bible, not in the Bible. How about that? Let's see what happened. I know Jasher, the Book of Wars. Also, it seemed like it's another one, but don't go too ballistic when you start looking them up. But here's the thing: if I picked up the Book of Jasher right now and handed it to you, how you know that's the Book of Jasher? That's the point we're getting at. Like, just because these books exist, don't mean that the copy you got is it. And furthermore, Enoch ain't got no book. Like you know how like the Bible doesn't say the book of Enoch. Right. It just said that Enoch prophesied. Right. Now, here's what I want y'all to know about Enoch. The Tower of Babel is where the language is changed. Ain't no writings before the Tower of Babel. Mm-hmm. Enoch is before the Tower of Babel. Right. So what language is this book written in? Greek. You joking, right? Actually, it's written in Ethiopia. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's 3 different versions of the book of Enoch. So I know you joking, but I'm saying, like, that's the whole thing. How do you know what you got is an authentic of anything? You don't. Even if you found it buried in the dirt and it was written out in some, like the Dead Sea Scrolls. I have the Dead Sea Scrolls. They said they found the Dead Sea Scrolls over there in the Mediterranean, whatever, right? But I have to compare it with the Bible. And if it ain't what the Bible say, Then I'm be looking at the Dead Sea Scrolls like, okay, so whoever wrote this, like whoever wrote these Dead Sea Scrolls, they got that part wrong. It's the Bible. After, yeah, like they found these scrolls in the near the Dead Sea in some cave. Well, what I'm saying is, when you read it, if it has something that is here's what I'm saying, that in 2,000 years ago, Timothy, and what I'm saying is the book we got now, the Timothy we got now, the Daniel we got now, the Isaiah we got now, is good enough to get me to this point. Mm-hmm. So then if I find a Dead Sea Scroll that me or you wrote about Timothy, and it's contrary to this book, it doesn't matter. Meaning, it's just like right now. If somebody found a Bible from 2020, right, but it's 3020, like, if it ain't King James, it ain't the right Bible. You dig? Even though it might say on the Bible, Holy Bible. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, this the living Bible. This ain't the right Bible. But it came from back in the day. It doesn't matter. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Just because anybody could have did. Just right. So what I'm getting at is, if a book of Enoch showed up, buried under the Mediterranean, and they like, yo, this book is 4,000 years old. You know what I mean? If it's contrary to the Bible, right, I don't care if it's 50,000 years old. I ain't rocking with it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe the person who wrote it 50,000 years ago didn't know what he was talking about. That's my point. You know what I mean? So the Dead Sea Scrolls, like I said, I got them, but they ain't. It says, this is what it says about the Dead Sea Scrolls: the oldest known Bible translated for the first time in English. So this is like the oldest Bible that existed, the Dead Sea Scrolls. You see what I'm saying? Meaning like when they found it, it was older than any other finding of the Bible. Right. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, it's written in English, so I didn't read the Dead Sea Scroll. I read the translation, and I ain't see too much different. Not so far, but I wasn't finna read the whole thing to try to find out either, because, I mean, I read enough to see I don't see too much different. How long do I got to keep doing this? Like, I might do this. I might as well have just read my Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so it's not too much different, but somebody might Google something different. Like, I'm gonna be like, okay, man, well, it's just like people who start talking about you got to change the name. I'm like, dude, when you first picked up a Bible, what name was in there? Jesus. Okay, so what you trying to change it for? That's what saved you before. It can't save you again? Or it ain't keeping you safe, I should say? Yeah. Right. Right. That's the simple way of looking at it. For those that's watching online, what she was saying is, it's more Gentile, it's more Christians than any other religion, and there's more Gentiles than anything. And the Bible say that the Gentile gonna know his name, so then his name must be Jesus. Then that's the name they go by. Man, I can't hear over them. You need a mic. Yeah, I'm like, they over there jamming, man. All I hear is them. It's all good. I'm gonna definitely get this one last question in though before we wrap it up. But I'm gonna definitely cause we can talk outside. I ain't got to hear all that music. Mm-hmm.
Hey, this other Jesus that these people be listening to, by them saying they love God, they love Jesus, that's the Jesus of this one. How they gonna be judged? Because they're saying they love this Jesus, and if they're brought up on this Jesus, they don't know this Jesus, but they're worshiping Christmas and all that other stuff. How does that?
Sure, like I say, they got another Jesus, and you're gonna bear with them. But let's turn to Zephaniah though. I'm gonna show you what this say. Zephaniah chapter 1. Zephaniah chapter 1. And I will consume the beast, I will utterly destroy they that worship. Yeah. So we're gonna start read Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 2. Oh, wow. Zephaniah chapter 1, start at verse 2.
Oh.
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 2. That's where we're gonna start at.
I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. And I will cut off man from the land,
Go ahead,
saith the Lord.
Uh-huh.
I will also stretch out my hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place, and the name of the chimeras with the priest, and them that worship thee, hosts of heaven, upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by the Lord, and that swear by Malcham.
So he's like, I don't care who you swearing by, the Lord, by Malcham. Go ahead.
And them that are turned back from the Lord.
If you turn back from the Lord, what else?
And those that have not sought the Lord.
Even if you ain't never even looked for the Lord. Go ahead.
Nor inquired for him.
Yeah, so he like, man, the Lord saying, I don't care. I don't care what you called on, who you
Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord God, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord hath prepared a sacrifice, he hath bid the guests.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such are as clothed with strange apparel.
Right, he's like, man, if you ain't got the right clothes on, you gonna get punished. So it don't matter what God you call. It don't matter. It's like this. It don't matter if they calling on Jesus and they doing it wrong, and somebody else don't know his name and they doing it right. You know what I'm saying? He gonna judge you based off what you did. So if you ain't got the name right, but you doing it right, you're good. And if you got the name and you identifying with the Bible, but you ain't doing what the Bible say, then you in trouble. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you gonna have two judgment lines like, okay, so you was going to church on Sunday, you wasn't. So we gonna put y'all in this line since y'all said y'all believe God. Don't work like that. Yep.
Hey Jay, what was this? I remember it was like Norman Coley. You told me the script, and it was like basically it mimicked the ignorance of the law is no excuse. But it wasn't. But I don't know where that was. But it said almost the same thing, like, oh, because you didn't read, that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
I forgot that script.
I showed it to you?
Yeah.
I probably did. I don't remember right now.
I remember that. That was a good script. I forgot it.
Because it's so many, I don't know exactly what that would have been one of them probably. But I don't remember like exactly like that.
I forgot. But I remember he said that. I was like.
But I know one thing though. Yeah, dang. Not partially because I can't think. Right. Yeah. But let's go to this Isaiah real quick. And after this, we're going to close it out. All right. And then we can go outside and talk. Because I can do that better than this. Because this is, they over there jamming, man. Look here, man. They going to have me hungry. I'm going to want some of their food and everything. No, I ain't. Y'all seen that pork? Shrimp? Oh, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Why black folk think it's cool to eat shrimp, man? Like, it's not. It's like, it's really not. Like, they be having boo-boo out there without the shrimp. And if you ever looked at a shrimp, man, like, he look like a roach. Like, y'all ain't eating roaches? I hope. Yeah, sea roach. So, Isaiah 58. So, here's the thing. People are saying, some people saying that when you fast, you ain't supposed to do your own pleasures and you work. You ain't supposed to work, because that's what this is saying. Y'all missing this. So, let me go back here first. So, matter of fact, we ain't got to go cover the rest of it. But how do I want to do it? Let's read 13 and 14 first. Then we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to walk it down. For those that's viewing online that have the question, hopefully we'll be able to give some understanding on it. So go ahead, Isaiah 58, verse 13 and 14.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasures on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasures, nor speaking thy own words.
So look, he's telling you, if you try to keep my Sabbath day and call it a delight, like you say, well, what's my own words? Look, every word come out my mouth is my own word. What he really saying is stay focused on the prize. Try to keep your mind on Jesus. Try to keep your mind on holiness and not them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, stay out of that. Stay out the mall. We're not at the baseball game. We stand away from the world on the Sabbath day, right? Then he says, this is your reward. Verse 14.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
Yeah.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth.
He telling you right here that if you can not do your pleasure on the Sabbath day, if you could take this one day and give it to me, I'm going to put you high on the earth. Not even like, oh yeah, you get to go to the kingdom. No, he said, I'm going to elevate you. You know how we be missing money because we don't work on the Sabbath? We really don't. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Like the Lord said, I'm going to put you high on the earth. So you good. That's what this end part is about. Go ahead, finish that. Just start over. Don't matter. Okay. 14.
Then shalt delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father. For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it.
All right, now let's go up to verse 1. So now we're going to try to clear this up. Yeah, we gotta have to finish this because I'm not gonna be able to do. Now they saying it ain't no fun. If the homies can't have that, I'm like, yo. First of all, y'all jamming, but this ain't for the work though, man. Like this ain't for the work. Y'all destroying my vibe. They will put that song on next. Please don't kill my vibe. Isaiah 58, pick it up in verse what?
Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet,
yeah,
and show my people their transgression, the house of Jacob their sins.
Go ahead.
Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their God.
So he said, y'all doing this like you ain't just mess up with me or so. Like everything just all good, and it's always been peaches and cream. Go ahead.
They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted?
So he's saying, and what else they saying is, these people, this ain't even talking about anybody in the room. Wherefore have we fasted is what these people who've been doing wrong at coming to the Lord on. That's the key that you missing. When I say you, I'm saying online who asked the question. I'm saying the key that you missing is he's like, yo, you come to me like you ain't did nothing wrong. And now you like, wherefore have we fasted is what you saying. Like you should be rewarded. And you like, and you don't see me? No, I don't see you. Because you evil. Go ahead.
Say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore have we afflicted our souls, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labor.
Right. He like, man, you fasting, it ain't even real. That's all he telling them. He just like, man, you wicked. You ain't never humbling yourself. Like, it ain't really a big deal to you. That's all he's really saying. It's about, but it's not. Here's the thing. Everything in the book got to be established by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. All you got to do is find me another witness that say when you fast, don't go to work and don't you can't watch TV or whatever the case may be, and I'm with it. But you can't take this one verse when you ain't even recognizing what it's talking about. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up the voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression. And the house of Jacob they sin. They seek me daily and to delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness. That's what he's saying, y'all wicked. Then he said, and forsook not the order, like you forsook the ordinances, and now you coming to me with your fasting and stuff like I'm supposed to accept that. That's all it's about. Read a little more.
Verse 4.
Yep.
And behold, ye fast for strife and debate.
So he talking to the same people. He like, y'all fasting for strifes and debates. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll close it. For debate and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day. To make your voice to be heard on high.
Right. He like, man, don't fast like you do this to be heard. Like, I ain't trying to hear you. That's what he said. I'm not trying to hear what you're saying. This is really the whole moral of the story. It ain't got nothing to do with rules to fasting. Like when you look at fasting, fasting is don't eat, don't drink. That's it. That's enough in itself. Like you mean to tell me if I can go to work, I'm a security guard, I can't go to work but I ain't doing nothing at work. She's a nurse, she can't go to work, she's saving lives. But since he a construction worker, that make him have to do too much. Like that's foolishness. At the end of the day, show me the law that when you fast, thou shalt not work. I can show you the law on the Day of Atonement. You know what I'm saying? But I can show you on a weekly Sabbath you don't go to work. But go ahead, read a little more.
Verse 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen?
He's asking a question. Did I even choose this fast? He's not telling you he chose it. He's just asking, did I choose this fast? Go ahead.
A day for a man to afflict his soul.
Right. He's like, was it that day or something? Go ahead.
Is it to bow down his head and as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is it not this the fast that I have chosen? To lose the bands of the wicked.
So when he starts talking about fasting, he like, yo, the fast that I choose looses the bands of the wickedness. Go ahead.
To undo the heavy burden.
Yeah.
And to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke.
Right. That's what he's saying in that verse is that's what fasting should be about. Not like when he's saying that's what it should be about to them, to these people right here. Because at the end of the day, he like, yo, y'all tripping, y'all wicked, and you coming to me like you should be heard. Go ahead.
Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry?
Yeah.
And that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house when thou seest the naked.
That's good. So he's so at the end of the day, this ain't telling you that when you fast, you can't do nothing. Like it ain't telling you, there is no ordinance on how you fast short of don't eat, don't drink. Right. There's no mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses saying no more rules to it. So if you're a truck driver, but you can't drive your truck because you fasting. But me, I can go ride to your house when I'm fasting.
On the Sabbath, we should be strictly dedicated towards the Lord.
Yes. At least they DJ pretty good, dog.
On the Sabbath, so we're supposed to be strictly toward the Lord. Like we should not stray to the left even a little bit as far as our conversation.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. Stray which way, like conversate how, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not finna sit here and hold a whole conversation about the Braves or something. But at the end of the day, though, every word we speaking is ours. So when you say not speaking your own words, just put it to you like this. What you want to do is keep your mind, your focus on keeping the day holy, on Christ, on, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't be reading Essence magazine on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be checking out the college, the Georgia Bulldog football game. Like what this got to do with God, the Bible, you got 6 days to do all that other stuff. Right. Today ain't the day that you should be. So today is a day that's separate from all the other. Now, I can come to him and we can talk about life's problems. You know what I'm saying? But not, go ahead.
Brothers and sisters, we can talk a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk, but I mean, you don't want to get carried away with it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, sis, you look nice, Okay, oh, you got your hair done, nails done. Next thing you know, she handed me business cards and stuff like, yeah, here go my beautician and, here go my Maybelline makeup and, you know what I'm saying? Now we done went into a whole nother, like, okay, can we bring it back to Jesus? The compliment was one thing, but everything else is extreme. So, it's a fine line in that. And here's my thing. Whenever you think you're saying your own words and you need to stop, that's probably the moment you need to stop. If we all in a conversation and somebody bring it up, that's probably the moment you need to stop. If you have more of a problem with it than me, and we all together, then I need to recognize that I'm saying too much and not say nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we play it safe. So look, y'all, this is what we about to do. We gonna close out. I'm sorry. First of all, the DJ actually good. I've been all around the world. I can't find a dang good DJ, and he over there jamming. So look, we gonna close it out, and if we want to chop it up outside, that's cool. But they loud. They having a good time too, though. I hope if we gonna walk out there, there's gonna be 3 people over there. We said all white. They dressed in all white.
He said 3 people.
I thought you was about to say they all white. I'm like, dang, what kind of white folks y'all got in North Carolina?
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debt.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power. And the glory. Forever. Praise the Lord. For he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord, the God of Israel.
For he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel.
The King of Kings.
King of Kings.
And Lord of Lords.
And Lord of Lords.
The one true God.
The one true God.
And there is no other.
And there is no other.
In Jesus' name, amen.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee. Oh my goodness. The Lord make his face shine upon thee. And be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee. And give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel. And I will bless them. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!